Welcome back to English Einsteins. I've helped many students increase their grades significantly as a teacher and tutor. I'm a GCSE examiner, so I know exactly what is needed for your exams. Make sure you watch the end to see my top tip for language paper 2. On that note, guys, if you want to invest in your education and proven strategies for English GCSE, email englisheinsteins@outlook.com. Back to the video then. This is for question 1-2. We're going to look at this extract here. It's a hanging of a murderer in 1840. Courvoisier bore his punishment like a man and walked very firmly. He was dressed in a new black suit, as it seemed. His shirt was open. His arms were tied in front of him. He opened his hands in a helpless kind of way and clasped them once or twice together. He turned his head here and there and looked about him for an instant with a wild, imploring look. His mouth was contracted into a sort of pitiful smile. He went and placed himself at once under the beam, with his face towards St. Sepulchre's. The tall, grave man in black twisted him round swiftly in the other direction, and, drawing from his pocket a nightcap, pulled it tight over the patient's head and face. I am not ashamed to say that I could look no more, but shut my eyes as the last dreadful act was going on which sent this wretched, guilty soul into the presence of God. Right, pause the video there. I want you to choose 4 out of 8 statements that are true down the bottom there. Preparing for question 2 then. Where it says he clasped his hands once or twice together, what could it suggest? He clasped his hands together, maybe desperation, anxiety, a nice word for anxiety, trepidation. Maybe he's praying to God for forgiveness and mercy. Okay, there's multiple interpretations already there. You don't have to do language analysis for question 2 here. So you don't have to say the verb clasp suggests this. Then he looked about with a wild, imploring look. This also indicates desperation. Imploring means he's begging for forgiveness. Wild denotes he's been dehumanized, he's animalistic. Maybe he's lost all his humanity through all of his sinful actions, that sort of thing. Okay, so for question 2 you just need to talk about what the quotes imply, and this is the layout for what I would do for question 2. Using details from text 1, write a summary of the behavior of the man about to be executed. So using those quotes from the previous slide, in text 1 the behavior of the man is desperate or inhumane, for example, and then you put one of the quotes in and tell me what it implies. The behavior of the man is also this, for example, put the other quote in and tell me what it implies. I'm not going to read through 2 sources for one question right now, but here is a model answer for question 2 on a different topic. So the writer of source A tries many known cures, for example, giving up coffee, sugar, heavy dinners to help her sleep, which implies that she relies on scientific research and understanding, because these are well-known barriers to sleep, and so the failure of these techniques could by proxy reveal a failure of science. However, the writer of source B follows her instincts rather than science, wrongly assuming you're hungry, yes, that must be it, which implies that she listens to her natural impulses rather than science, because she is responding to her body and feelings. So notice, you make a point, use a quote, say what the quote means, then compare to the other source. That's what you need to do for question 2.